Clyde Butcher's black and white photographs explore his personal relationship with the environment. For more than 40 years, he has been preserving on film the untouched areas of landscape. In this 4-part miniseries, Clyde talks about what led him to shoot black and white photography and how his career path led him from California to Florida and into the conservation movement.
The redwood forest was one of my, I really love the redwood forest. That's one of the main places I like in California, is the redwoods. We went to Florida because of sailing. Raised our kids on a sailboat, Newport Beach, Dana Point. We were called, what was it called? Boat?
Sneakerboards.
Sneakerboards.
I'm the like.
So I was in Florida for 4 years before I started to get it. I was photographing the beaches and that sort of thing. But one day we were going to Winter Park to an art festival, and actually we passed this several times, and finally he had a Burma-shaped sign out in his place that said, if your husband won't stop, take your shoe off and hit him in the head. We stopped, and it was typical, San Bernardino lambs and little Indian models and such. And Tom Gaskin could feel I was getting, it was boring. So he says, I have a boardwalk in back, so you can go out in the woods. Now, I'm from California. I've seen those pictures of gators and snakes and all that stuff, and I wasn't going to get in that water. He says, there's a boardwalk back there. I said, oh boy, I can do it without getting in the water. But it was a board walk. As soon as I got in there, it reminded me of the redwood forest, that primeval feeling of the redwoods, and I just got really turned on. I spent about 3 years photographing Florida in color. This was one of my primary shots for making a living, because it was the COs and the ocean, right? Typical stuff for sales. But I was thinking about what I was doing. I wanted to go to black and white because I felt the color was too distracting. Because people were getting turned on, because the only thing people were doing in Florida was birds and gators. That's kind of boring, And it's kind of easy. It's like hunting with a camera instead of a gun, which is kind of nice. I was doing like 50 times more in sales than the people doing black and white. I mean, $20,000 a weekend versus $300. But our son was killed by a drunk driver, and though, when that sort of thing happens, you kind of, say, what's life about? So Nikki was doing well at our shows, and she said, I wanted to go back to black and white, because I felt that was going to tell people more about the environment than the color was. So I started shooting 8x10, and really started. This was one of my first pictures, and the moonrise is one of my first pictures that I took with the first camera there. For the first 10 years, I'm concentrating on Florida.